If style were a man, then it would undoubtedly be Kal Jericho. With easy good looks and an even easier charm, Kal has a reputation for being as fast with his mouth as he is with his guns, the former getting him into trouble as often as the latter gets him out of it. A legend in his own lifetime, the self-proclaimed suavest bounty hunter in the Underhive has claimed more bounties and made more enemies than almost any other hired gun in Hive Primus. Kal might attribute his success to being possessed of peerless skills and a survivor's instinct for trouble, though ask his adversaries and they'll tell you that Kal leads a charmed life. Somehow, since making his way into the Underhive, Kal has gotten out of more scrapes than Lord Helmore has wigs, each one more impressive than the last, a bit like Lord Helmore's wigs. No one knows for sure where Kal comes from, or why someone of his obvious good breeding, education and upstanding personal hygiene decided to make the rotting underbelly of Hive Primus as his home, but there is no shortage of tales about him. Common wisdom has it that Kal is an exiled noble or off-world adventurer, fleeing from some dark past. Some claim he is a planetary lord in exile come to Necromunda to hide from his crimes. Others say he was once a great hero of the Imperium, betrayed and exiled from his command. Then there are those that posit that Kal is an illegitimate son of Lord Helmore, and the last true-born successor to the Helmore line. Of course, he could just as easily be another hive scum with an exceptional talent for lying. What isn't in dispute is that Kal has no shortage of powerful enemies, from the psychopathic ex-pit slave, Vandal Feg, the fanatical redemptionist, Cardinal Crimson, or the shadowy spymaster, Nemo the Faceless. There is a long line of Necromunda's baddest and meanest looking to claim the bounty hunter's head. Of course, Kal is not without his friends, like his trusty half-ratskin sidekick, Scabs, or robotic mastiff, Wotan. Then there are those like the rogue noblewoman turned outlaw, Yolanda Catalyst, who enjoys an off-again, on-again relationship with Kal, sometimes fighting at his side, other times trying to put a bullet between his eyes. All of these reasons are doubtless why Kal prefers the lawless settlements and shadowy bad zones of the Underhive, where there is always coin to be made and he can stay one step ahead of his adversaries. G'day and welcome back to Wellywood Wargaming. My name is Damon, and in this video I am going to give you the most famous and most glorious character in the whole of Necromunda. This guy's been around for quite some time. There are countless novels written about him. There are countless graphic novels and comics and stuff about him as well. There's also a really fancy plastic miniature, not Forge World, plastic, for, of course, Kal Jericho. Before I get into this video, please do like, share, subscribe. Check out the Patreon as well to keep me doing this kind of videos. We're in the Ks now with Kal Jericho. This one is a huge one, of course, an absolute monster in the game, and just a really, really fun, fluffy character to use in your games in Necromunda. So Kal Jericho, he's 340 credits. 340 credits is an awful lot, but it is absolutely worth it for what he can do in the game. And of course, you can get hold of this model very easily, which is really nice too. Let's just talk about the model actually first, have a look at it. This model's been around for a little while, since the start of, Book of Peril, I believe this came out in. Book of Judgment, Book of Peril. I think it's Book of Peril because it's on the front cover of it. Kal Jericho and Scabs are available in a plastic box from Games Workshop at an affordable price too. I bought one of these and heavily converted it to make it into my Orlok leader, but I think I might buy another one just to use as Kal Jericho at some point as well. But a really, really nice model, very chunky. He looks very different to anything else in the Necromunda sort of universe. Definitely got some sort of like slightly Enforcer vibes to him, I think, which is where I went with my conversion idea. But I really love the sort of high boots and the sort of great coat that he's wearing. Interesting looking head. He's got sort of braids and a goatee. It's not the most strongest of looks, if I'm honest. But we've got these two sort of artisan las pistols that we're going to talk about in a second, with a saber across the back there and two gun holsters in the front. Very, very cool looking model. We're not going to go into Scabs at all. I'm going to wait till S to look at Scabs because I'm very, very, very OCD about these things, and I feel like I have to do Scabs with the S's. Anyway, Kal Jericho, let's have a look at the rules. 340 credits, as I mentioned before, very, very expensive, but again, you're probably going to use this guy as an outcast leader because he's kind of meant that way, I suppose. But if you're going to use him in the bounty hunter system, from Goonhammer, then this guy is going to be an absolute tier 1 or tier 0 beast that will come up every now and then. Let's look at the stats though. We have a movement of 5, which is average. We have a weapon skill of 3+, which is pretty good. Not amazing, but pretty good. We also have a ballistic skill of 2+, meaning that this guy is better at shooting than he is at close combat generally. 2+ ballistic skill is the best you can possibly get. We've got a strength and toughness of 3, which is average. And we've got 3 wounds. Very nice indeed. Initiative of a 2+, which is fantastic, making him very agile indeed. 3 attacks, which is also great. In terms of mental stats, we've got a leadership of 7, which is quite low for someone who's supposed to be this special. A cool of 5+, a willpower of 6+, and an intelligence of 6+ as well. So really nice stats there, especially the wounds and attacks and ballistic skill. The skills that come with this guy are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 built-in skills there. So this is where all the cost comes in. Combat Master, Gunfighter, Inspirational, Spring Up, and Step Aside. So the real highlights in there, I think, Spring Up with a 2+ initiative means that you can just stand back up for free after being pinned. Fantastic when you've got such high initiative. Gunfighter, of course, is an absolute must when you've got 2 absolute badass pistols and a ballistic skill of 2+. So you're shooting both your pistols at 2 separate targets with no negatives whatsoever on 2+. Very, very nice indeed. In terms of the weapons here, we have 2 master-crafted hotshot las pistols, which are custom and unique to Kal Jericho. Now these are las pistols with the benefits of the las pistol being plentiful and 2+ ammo. However, they've also got the hotshot pack on them as well, but don't suffer from having the hotshot pack's negatives. They just have the strength 4 and the -1 AP without suffering the ammo and the plentiful trait. So you've still got the 2+ and plentiful on a strength 4 weapon with -1 AP. Very tasty indeed. So very reliable and hard-hitting weapons there. We've also got the long blade, which is the same as a dueling saber, which, correct me if I'm wrong here, is a power sword with +1 to hit, same as Lady Credo. So you've got +1 to hit on the power sword, meaning that effectively your weapon skill is now weapon skill 2+. -2 AP, power and parry, very nice indeed. We've got for war gear, filter plugs, flak armor and a strip kit. So flak armor, bit of a letdown there of course, but when I tell you his special rules in a second, you'll see why flak armor is not so much of a problem. The special rule here, a charmed life, as mentioned in the lore there, is the same as precognition, or precognition, I'm not sure how you say that, which is, I believe, is the same as the Caryatid, I think. So you get a 3+ save, which is unmodifiable by AP. So you get hit by a las cannon or a melter gun, doesn't matter, you still get your 3+ save, which is amazing. You know, 4 out of 6 chance of surviving most things. Plus, you know, if you don't make that save, you still got 3 wounds. So you're quite likely to be okay most of the time. You've also got a 4+ save, which is a bonus one against blast and template only. If successful, this fighter does not count as being hit. Pretty cool indeed. That is Kal Jericho. So this guy is an absolute beast. We're not going to talk about him in conjunction with scabs, but they do work together as a little group. You get a discount on scabs if you hire Kal Jericho. But Kal on his own as an outcast leader is just silly fantastic, with having 5 inbuilt skills, fantastic stats, excellent weapons, and that special rule there. You can really build a very, very strong sort of outcast base there as well. And that's kind of what I would use him for. But I've used him in games as a bounty hunter to add some real beef to my list, and he's always been very good. Sometimes he can be a little bit underwhelming. I mean, the thing that he lacks is range, I suppose, because he's only got pistols. But that's not a problem. You just get him in the thick of it, get him involved, and you're not scared of anything because you've got that 3+ invuln save. It's just kind of ridiculous. But very, very, very good, and definitely one of the best Dramatis Personae in the game of Necromunda, if not the best. So it'll be interesting when I go back and do my sort of tiering to see exactly where this guy is, but I can tell you absolutely straight up that he's going to be around the top somewhere. May not be the very best, but he's certainly right up there. Anyway, that's it for me because I'm already waffling on. I've got a load of other videos to do as well, so peace out.